So there is a difference between school level mathematics and Olympiad or ISI-CMI entrance level mathematics or research level mathematics. And you will readily recognize it when you see an Olympiad level problem, how remarkably different and challenging it is from regular school problems. So, since Cheenta conducts many of these Math Olympiad, ISI-CMI entrance level programs, students and parents ask us that how do we sort of go from the regular level math to this advanced material? How do we take the leap? How do we become skillful to do that? And there is really a strategy that at Cheenta we recommend. It's called the 7 smart steps toward advanced mathematics. And in this video, I will discuss all of those 7 steps, and hopefully those will be useful for your journey in the subject. So let's get started with the 7 smart steps in mathematics. The step 1, that's the first step, is the first 200 problems. First 200 problems. So you have to make a schedule for 30 days and you have to choose 200 interesting problems that are not very hard, that are not very resource intensive. What that means is you don't need to know a lot of theory to solve those 200 problems, and yet they are non-trivial. That is, they still need you to think out of the box. So these are the first 200 problems. And if they are too hard, you will feel demotivated and you will sort of stop doing the problems altogether. So you don't want to choose too hard problems at this stage. Remember, the battle is in the mind. You have to get into the habit, into the culture of doing good mathematics, and that will not happen overnight. You have to sort of go toward it step by step. So where do you get these 200 problems? For each grade, there is a set of problems that we recommend. From grades 2 to 6, we recommend Math Kangaroo problems, the Canadian Math Kangaroo problems, problem number 10 to 20. You choose a paper from Math Kangaroo, look into the problem numbers 10 to 20 and try to solve them. If you are in grades 7 and 8, then I would suggest do the same thing with AMC 8 problems, American Math Competition 8 problems. This is from problem number 10 to 20, or if you find the problems from 15 to 20 a little bit more hard, then you can go from problem number 5 to 15. This is for American Math Competition 8. If you are in classes 9 and 10, do the same thing for AMC 10. Again, choose problem number 10 to 20. Don't go beyond 20. It will be too hard, and it's not recommended that you start with those problems at the very beginning. And if you are in grades 11 and 12, try the same thing with American Math Competition 12 and choose problem numbers 10 to 20. What this will do is that it will put you into a habit of doing mathematics and habit of doing non-routine mathematics. These problems will force you to think out of the box. You cannot just mechanically plug in a formula and do it. It's not possible. So that's the first 30 days. First 30 days. We call it the Get Started 200 problems. Get Started 200. That's step 1. The step 2 is Get Inspired. you can do the step 2 while you are doing the step 1, but you have to keep on doing the step 2 forever. Forever. So as long as you are in school or college or university, and I would suggest that you keep on doing it all through your life because it's so enjoyable. So what is this step? This is called get inspired. And how do you get inspired? Well, every day you have to see other people perform 2 to 3 very interesting problems. When I say perform, I mean that someone is solving it with you. You do not watch the entire solution. You actively engage with the problem solver. You get a little hint, you think about it on your own, and then you see a little bit more. So in Cheenta, this can be done in 2 ways. You can either attend the problem solving sessions, which happens 4 to 5 times every week. This is extremely important. The students who attend the problem solving sessions get to see 2 to 3, even 4 interesting problems every day. If you are not enrolled in Cheenta, you can actually go to our YouTube channel or some other similar YouTube channels and watch recordings of problems, interesting problems, challenging problems. So you watch a couple of minutes, you try it on your own, you watch again a couple of minutes, try it on your own, and so on. And then you watch the entire video, entire 10 or 15 minutes video to get the full solution and the full idea. What this will do is it will inspire you to think differently. Remember, when a musician is practicing, he or she is actually listening to the guru and other famous musicians. So that keeps the person inspired, that keeps the person motivated, that keeps the person's skill set heightened when they are falling behind, because they see the high standards that are out there. So as a student of mathematics, you also need to get inspired. And this is one way to do it. These are the 2 ways to do it rather. Either you attend the live problem solving classes in Cheenta if you are a member of Cheenta. If you are not, the YouTube channels are there. We have about 1,000 problems. You can subscribe the channel and get notifications for new problems that we post regularly. This is a very, very critical step. When you are in step 1, you may not be doing step 2, but you can start it after 15 days of step 1. That's totally fine. Now let's talk about step 3. Step 3 is so important. It's called get to work. So what I'm asking you to do in this particular step is that after you have done step 1, after you have completed step 1, after the first month of 200 easy or medium level problems, you should try to get a friend or a little kid and try to teach that person and interact with that person with those problems that you have already done. Plan a meeting for once a week and teach that kid whatever you are learning. Try to explain the concepts to that kid. This is so important. We call it get to work. This is step 3. In Cheenta, we have a separate program called Math Circles, where the Cheenta students work with rural kids and they teach them beautiful math problems every 15 days or every week. If you are not in Cheenta, then you can also do this in your neighborhood, in your school. Get a friend, get someone else, and you can teach them. And students in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, they also teach other kids. Once you start teaching someone else, you will see a different type of motivation inside yourself to express your ideas, to learn the ideas in a more deeper manner. And that will keep you motivated to learn new things, because after all, you have to communicate new things to your pupils. So It's a very important step, and this one is actually missing from most schools and most educational institutions. They do not make their students teach other students, but it is so important. If you are in Cheenta, you can access the Math Circle program and you can teach other students either from Cheenta or from rural India. It will be a great service as well. You will be spreading knowledge. That's step 3, get to work. Step 4 is get skillful. So you should not start step 4 before the 3rd or 4th month of this process. So in the first month, you did the step 1, you did 200 medium level problems, which are inspiring. In the first 3 months, you are watching the 3 videos or 4 videos every week or attending the problem solving classes. You are getting inspired. That's step 2. In the second month onward, you are teaching someone else. That's step 3. 3rd or 4th month onward, it's important that you start building your own skill set. Of course, you are taking classes somewhere. Of course, you are teaching someone else. But the best teacher that you can have is yourself. So choose a topic. You can ask your teacher to help you select a topic and try to read and master that topic over a couple of months' time. Every 2 months, you fix something new for yourself to learn. For example, you could learn Pick's theorem. You could learn origami and mathematics. You could learn projective geometry. You could learn inversive geometry. You could learn complex numbers and geometry. You could learn some portion of inequalities. You can teach yourself these new topics, but the crucial factor here is you have to fix one topic at a time, get book suggestions from your teachers or from the internet or from some other source. If you want, you can always ask us in the WhatsApp groups that we have at Cheenta. Go to our website in the link in the description. You can join our community through WhatsApp for free. Every 2 months, it's like giving yourself a treat. Every 2 months, you are learning something new. Every 2 months, you are learning something new. And you are mastering skill after skill after skill. This is a very important mindset. It will help you become something of an autodidact. That is, you are teaching yourself. And it will bring you into the mentality of a mathematician, the mental setup of a mathematician. At the end of the day, a mathematician must think for himself. Think on his own. Think about a problem, about a new theory. This process will help you to do that and keep you excited about the learning process of mathematics. It's not what the teacher is telling. Here, you are choosing what to study. Step 5 should start just after step 1, actually, after the first month. It is actually a continuation of step 1. We suggest that in a 1-year period, you get exposed to 3,000 problems. This is a very psychological sort of mark. 3,000 problems is about 10 problems every day. It's very hard to do 10 problems. But we are not asking you to do 10 problems on your own. 3 to 4 problems you did in step 2, where you are in the get inspired step. You are either in the class or you are watching a YouTube video, 3 or 4 YouTube videos every day. You are getting inspired. Those count. The remaining 5, 6, 7 problems, that you should be trying on your own every day. If you are in a Cheenta program, of course, it will be part of the homework problem set and the long problem sets that we provide and the daily problem solving classes that we have. But even if you don't have that, you can directly go into the referred textbooks. I will put a link in the description to the books that we recommend. You have to choose 3,000 problems. It really depends on which class you are. Choose 3,000 problems wisely. Ask your teacher maybe for that. 1,000 of them you do it in the get inspired space, that is, you watch others doing it, and 2,000 you do on your own. 3,000 problem is a very good baseline to start, to get skillful, to do well in the Olympiads, to do well in the ISI-CMI entrances, and so on. Keep a diary if possible. Keep a diary of how many problems are getting done in that 3,000 problem set. This will sort of give you a psychological impetus that, okay, you are progressing. And remember, I told you this, that you don't have to solve 3,000 problems. You have to get exposed to 3,000 problems. You might not be able to solve some of them. That's totally fine. But you have to spend time, at least 15, 20 minutes or half an hour on each problem. And you have to get exposed to 3,000 problems over a year. So that's your goal. You can start today and keep a count of how much progress you are making. That's step 5. Step 6, the smart step 6, is superbly important. We call it the 180 health problems. The 180 health problems, which basically means you actively seek for help, doubt clearing on at least 180 problems over a period of 12 months. When you ask someone else for help, maybe your teacher, you can use the doubt clearing classes at Cheenta. You can ask inside the classes. When you choose to ask for help, you are actually inviting communication from another problem solver. You want a piece of his ideas. That's very important. Doing communication is very, very important while doing mathematics. So make a count of how many problems you are asking help for, actively asking help for. And we have seen that if someone is asking for help almost 10 to 12 times every month, maybe 15 times every month, that is a very strong sign that this person is actually actively thinking about mathematics. And that person also makes some friends who are mathematicians. They start talking to each other. You can also ask your friends, not only your faculty members, ask your friends for help. And keep a separate journal of these help problems. So you keep a separate count for the 3,000 problems that you're solving, and keep a separate count of the help problems, the doubt clearing problems. And psychologically speaking, 3,000 here and 180 here are a very good standard to keep in mind. Okay? That's the step 6. Finally, we are at the step 7, where you are doing all of these things for over like 6, 7, 8 months, maybe a year. And now you are in a position to think about mathematics in a more broader sense. Now you want to create mathematics. You want to innovate. You want to discover something. And remember, mathematical theorems, if you can prove it correctly, stays for eternity. It's a piece of truth. So it's extremely important that you feel excited about creating new mathematics and discovering new theorems and ideas. And this part is called research. Cheenta has a lot of research projects. Check the links in the description for the active ones. We have it for school students, 8th graders, 9th graders, 10th graders do it all the time. We have it for college and university students. So it's extremely important that after 1 year of the first 6 steps, you do this step 7, you get started with it. And how do you get started with it? First of all, you can get attached to some research group, some active research group, either at Cheenta or some other place. You need to find a mentor who will help you through this process. It's a lifelong journey, but you need a mentor at least in the beginning. You need colleagues after that with whom you will collaborate, right? So like Pharma had Mercine. You can look it up. Pierre de Fermat, the French mathematician, had Mersenne as his collaborator, and they produced a lot of great mathematics. And there are examples like this, abundant examples like this, all over the history of mathematics. So you need collaborators in the long run. In the short run, you need some mentors, some hand-holding. So try to find one. That's number one. Number two, try to read about new ideas, new projects in mathematics. If you are at the school level, there are a couple of magazines which are really good, couple of journals. The Mathematical Gazette, that is published from Britain, is a very good mathematics journal. The Mathematics magazine published by Mathematical Association of America, that's also a very good journal. In Russian, we have the Quant. So if you know Russian, or if you can sort of take a snapshot of it and get it translated in Google Translate or something, some people do that. If they're very active in reading stuff, then they do that. So there is Quant, and there is another similar journal published from Hungary called Komal. So these are examples of very good journals at high school or the undergraduate level, and they publish new ideas, new expositions on mathematics. So you should read at least one journal article every 15 days. And it's hard to read journal articles. You have to read slowly. You will not understand a bunch of things. You will have to sort of figure out a lot of things, but that's part of the process. So find a mentor, read journal articles. Then third thing, and the most important part, is identify a project on which you can work on. Often your mentor will help you to find such a project. Sometimes if you have read sufficiently large amount of journal articles, you will see some problem which you think you can work on. So these are all potential avenues where you can find a project, and then you start working on it. So obviously these 7 steps require some amount of discipline. In fact, it requires a lot of discipline. But if you do it right, if you do it step by step, and Cheenta has infrastructure to support you all through the process, then I think you will have a long journey in the world of mathematics, and you will love it. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you have questions or comments, please put it in the comment section. I will see you in the next video.